Welcome to the newest episode of the More People Podcast. I'm Richard Hanwell, Managing Director for More People. Today's very special guest is our very own Natalie Smith. How are you, Natalie?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, very well. Nat, just for the people out there that don't know who you are and the part you play, can you just give us a small intro to yourself, please?
So Natalie, Marketing Manager at MorePeople. Been here for 2.5 years now. Been working in marketing roles, various industries, various roles for the past 10 years since I graduated from uni. I think most of my experience has been in email marketing, and then came over to MorePeople to do a bit of everything.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Anything.
wearing many hats.
Indeed. Marketing has evolved massively over the last few years, generically, but even more so for ourselves. I'm keen to understand how you kind of measure the success or the return on investment within marketing, within your department, really.
I think it's really difficult. One of the hardest things about marketing is being able to return on investment, especially in recruitment. So when I joined here, I didn't have any recruitment experience or our industry experience, but marketing, the principles and practices can be applied in any industry. I think with recruitment, it's harder because there's no tangible product, so you can't measure. You can't sell X amount or track the clicks of where they got it from. So I think part of my learning over the last couple of years is how we can, when we're making our placements, how they're coming back. How can I prove my worth almost?
Yeah, it tends to be almost a branding exercise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To your point, the journey of how said candidate, said client came to us can be quite elongated and what have you, which is the trickier part.
Yeah, we don't know. If someone's seeing a job advertised somewhere else but coming direct, we don't know. The consultants could be finding out, but I don't know. So I can't say, that came from doing that, X, Y, Z. It's really difficult. I think we're trying to do more and more kind of digitally now and tracking more using Google Analytics, keeping track of our traffic and trying to see kind of if our traffic spiking that week, was that because of doing this? So kind of do more of that, just keep testing and learning. I think quite lucky with the team we've got here is everyone appreciates that there is a value of marketing and just keep going, keep being consistent.
It's a collective approach, or whether it's the funner stuff like with the some of the runs that the guys have done recently, some of the charity work, some of the events that we organise, but it is so tricky to keep a closer eye and track that data.
Yeah, really.
But you can't just do one. It's got to be a real collaborative approach. And another question for yourself, Nat, is what advice would you give businesses that are looking to improve their marketing strategies?
I think sitting down and having a plan and a schedule, kind of a time plan, and sticking to it and being really consistent. So don't start doing something, see nothing and stop, because I think the success we see is because we're so consistent and it keeps going, it keeps churning. Really repetitive. Data is a big thing. Make sure you're finding ways to collect new data so you can keep doing more stuff with it, make sure it's accurate. But I think the consistency is the biggest thing. Yeah.
Playing that out slightly as well. I think we just had a good conversation with a consultant recently about the changing face of marketing within recruitment as well, whether it be us on behalf of our clients, some of the packs that we've been working with, but how big a part can marketing play within a recruitment process?
We're quite good at being quite visual when people are seeing kind of the stuff we're putting out there on our website, on LinkedIn. It's kind of selling more of our personal brand or the team's personal brand. They can see what we're about, they can see what we're up to, and then we kind of are creating more and more content showing what we're doing as a business.
Yeah, I think having visuals of the place to work, the people, the people behind the blogs as well, and having more of an emotional attachment to us as a business, I think is something that clients of ours can certainly evolve with and move with and make more personal to them. How do we remain and continue to be consistent across so many different platforms?
I think having kind of a central marketing team managing it all helps, because it's always the same kind of tone of voice. I know you could make a brand toolkit and you've got your colours, the fonts and stuff like that. We don't tend to have one that we stick by. I think you could have one of them and people still wouldn't follow it to how you need it to be. So I think being able to have a centralised marketing team makes it a lot easier for us to to keep consistent. And
Yeah, because you want people to be creative, but you don't want them to go too rogue, right?
yeah, and that's what it just goes rogue. I know a lot of recruitment companies don't have there's maybe as much of a bigger marketing team as we do, but I can't see how everyone can do their own little piece and it kind of all come together. I don't think it works like
Even
that.
when you look at, we're blessed to have yourself and Olivia as a two-person marketing team, but we also have other vendors which you then obviously have to manage. So even that's problematic. So if you haven't got someone in marketing, you've got various different inputs. I'm guessing that can be very difficult. We've spoken at length in the past about analytics. You know, how big a part or what role does data analytics play in marketing decisions for yourself and your team?
It means you can do many more things if you've got good data. You know, email marketing's a big thing. That's one of my most experience I've got is in email marketing. The better your data, the more you can do, the more personalization you can do, you know, the more return on investment you can track. I see more and more things about account-based marketing, so picking, you know, your top customers, your top clients, and really hyper personalizing things for them. Without good data, you can't do that. I think it drives everything really, and keeping it up to date. So it's not just about the biggest database more and more, but actually the quality of it, and it being accurate. But things always come into play, make it difficult. GDPR obviously being the biggest thing of recent, which changes everything up. Then you've got to make sure you're all compliant and using it in the right ways. But I think the stronger your data is, the more you can do with it.
You're absolutely spot on. GDPR was a game changer, but as with a lot of companies, we spent a lot of money making sure that we are compliant. I think it's a case of making sure that data is real, it's live, and that's the problem. Data is changing on such a regular basis that we have to constantly check our checkpoints. So that kind of makes sense.
The more you've got as well, you know, you can do more A/B testing, test and learn. The more you've got to go at, the better your results are going to be to then look at the findings to improve it.
And nothing's guaranteed in marketing either. We have to try, we have to learn to fail quick, evolve, move forward, and me and you would be the first to admit that we've got things wrong in the past, but currently I've never seen the marketing looks as strong and as vibrant as what it does, and the return on investment is tricky to track, but the fact the company is where it is a credit to you and your team. But what challenges do you kind of foresee in the marketing landscape in the coming years?
I think AI's got to be brought up, hasn't it? That's just the biggest topic everywhere at the moment. When it first kind of was about, people we all started looking into it, I was really against the whole chat GPT. I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. You can't put that. And even still now, you can tell when someone's copy and pasted something from
massive.
I hate it. I think, what? Oh, don't do that. But I don't think it
because it's less authentic, because it's cheap.
Yeah, you can tell there's no it's not humanized. I don't think. I don't think AI is going to take away people's jobs, especially in marketing. I don't think copywriters are still going to be needed, but I think you'd be wrong to not use it to aid you in your role. So using it for ideas, templates, just getting you started on what you're about to do, I think can be.
You use it as a tool, don't work against it, I guess.
Yeah, I think so, and I think if you're thinking about organic SEO, I don't see how, if you're just creating all your website content from ChatGPT, how that's going to help you rank well from an SEO point of view. And I imagine in the future there'll be like new rules and all new algorithms that kind of either penalise or against using it, or I don't know, maybe a change and
it's a constant moving feast. Yeah, that's half the problem. But yeah, I can see, if I was a PR account manager, would I be concerned? Potentially, but then we've overcome so many various other new features within marketing or within recruitment. I joined recruitment pre-LinkedIn. Yeah, and I've said before, if somebody told me there's going to be a whole database of every professional in the world and it was free, I'd have thought maybe I'd bounce out this industry now. And we partner up with LinkedIn, we spend a fortune with them, and we utilize it to our benefit.
Yeah, use it to make us better.
Exactly. It'll. I've got no doubt it'll become an evolution piece rather than taking over. And as we adapt and change, I think it'll be a massive positive, to be perfectly frank. Any other challenges that you think are on the horizon, whether it be recruitment marketing or marketing in general?
I've seen a few things recently about voice search optimization.
Okay.
So the rise of, people talking into their search engines rather than typing, and which again I think will affect the way you need to write your website copy, because you speak differently rather than typing. So that could be something I think could maybe change things and the way we need to make our job as accessible and found, how people are asking.
That's really interesting, because I think, show my age somewhat, but I remember having to start writing adverts for them to be viewed on a phone as opposed to on a laptop.
Yeah, and now
we're having to write things.
Exactly.
But now we're having to look at how we write our marketing, our adverts, to be coined so people can actually speak into a tablet and get the return that they actually want. So it's a constant evolution. Big one within our business is, how do you foster collaboration between marketing and other departments, within the company, so we get that alignment, we get that collaboration, we get that consistency?
I think we do a really good job of everyone working together here. I think the main thing is understanding what the marketing role is and how it benefits, because essentially the more work we do, the more it benefits everyone.
Massively,
And at the end of the day, the consultants are the ones who are speaking with candidates and clients day in, day out. They're the experts in their own desk, their own part of the industry. I don't know everything they know, so I need to work with them to get the information to be able to promote more people and have actual useful, correct, and interesting things that people want to see.
And that changes all the time.
Yeah.
So what was interesting a couple of months ago is old hat now, and it's changed again. So that constant communication between you and the consultants is of paramount importance.
Yeah, and they do a great job helping me be able to get things out, blogs and content, and then we help them get their LinkedIn, try and post more on LinkedIn. And
I think because they're invested so much, I think because they genuinely invested within the industries that they recruit into, they actually do care and they have that interest. And they'll go away upting examples of when the guy's been out the weekends to various different, whether it be a garden centre or a rural event or what have you. They're more intrigued to come and utilise the marketing side of things, and gone are the days of the two departments looking at each other as a necessary evil. It's much more of a collaboration, and it works very, very well. But we just have to constantly evolve and constantly move forward. Now, as you well know, as a business, we're turning 24 years of age this year. Question I am asking is, what advice would you give to the 24-year-old version of Natalie Smith?
I would say at 24, I needed to probably keep learning. I think I'd say finish uni at 22, and I was like, done. I don't want to do any more learning.
Completed life.
If you think, when I finished uni, Instagram had just come out, or it was just a simple, photo weird thing I thought at the time. After that, it was a massive marketing tool, and
huge.
So I now that would be covered at uni, but that wasn't when I was at uni. So really, in an ideal world, I could have jumped on that earlier and learned more about that earlier, but.
And then video with TikTok, etc.
Yeah, and then what's going to be the next thing that everyone uses. But I think being more invested in learning and keeping up with the new things coming out, and then also just I think being more confident in job searching. I think when I first was starting to get into work, just be more confident in what I wanted, and wait for be more specific in what I wanted to do. I mean, I don't regret it because it's all led into where I am now. But I think worked more on learning more and the new things that were coming out. I could have been more picky in where I wanted to go.
Yeah, and to the everlasting point throughout this chat, it's marketing's never going to stop evolving.
No.
If you look at how many other industries are out there that don't evolve at anywhere near the pace of the industry that you work in, you're going to have to constantly learn every week, every month. So good that you know like that. Nat, you've been a star. Thank you very much.
Thanks.